I got the frame going.
Get the lock in, right?
I gotta get my
metaphor.
I gotta get my F stop. Oh, hey there, friendo. Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, and you may know us from TV's Top 10 for the win, but I tell you what, before we were balls deep in the game, we were pop culture aficionados par excellence. In other words, we really like the movie films.
And to prove our total unified film knowledge, behold our film degrees.
Yeah, mine is actually lining the hamster cage.
My dog ate mine.
Yeah, they're absolutely worthless.
That's a $20,000 meal for her.
Yeah, so obviously we are Machinima's foremost authority on all things entertainment. So here you go, friendos, our top 10 superhero films of all time.
Shazam!
Number 10. Hellboy! Guillermo del Toro cut his superhero teeth on the very watchable Blade 2, but it wasn't until he adapted Mike Mignola's graphic novel Hellboy that he really started turning heads.
Featuring a perfectly cast Ron Perlman as a titular, wisecracking, devilish demon hunter, the movie was imaginative, quirky, funny, and thrilling.
There was so much weird going on, but we never wanted it to stop.
And it kinda didn't. A sequel and an animated series followed, and Hellboy is now a marketable property.
Which is all that matters, in the end, really. Money.
Profit.
Number 9. Unbreakable! M. Night Shyamalan's last decent film also happened to be a pretty solid superhero flick, starring Bruce Willis as a nigh-invincible security guard and Sam motherfucking Jackson as the poorly afro-wigged Mr. Glass.
Okay, Steve. If we were arch enemies rather than friendos for life, who would be the hero? Who would be the villain? Declare.
Obviously, I would be the hero.
Agreed. Names.
You would call me the super bastard.
I'm the ass man.
That's disconcerting. Number 8. The Crow. So time to tell us the absolute truth, Larson. The Crow is what really inspired you to go super goth in the mid-90s, correct?
I feel like that's a loaded question, Steve.
Speaking of all things loaded, The Crow sadly owed some of its success to the grim tragedy that befell Brandon Lee, who died on the set due to a gun being fired at him with Psych Your Mind, Not Blanks.
Along with Dark City, The Crow, based on James O'Barr comic of the same name, ushered in a fashion era of black clothes, black makeup, dyed black hair, and lots of pointing and laughing. I miss my goth days.
I knew you were a goth. I knew it. I knew that was you. Number 7. Batman!
Love that Joker.
Long before Heath Ledger nabbed an Oscar for his portrayal of the Joker, Jack Nicholson chewed the scenery as the clown prince of crime in Tim Burton's take on the Caped Crusader, setting a new benchmark for superhero cinema.
You could say that every other superhero movie up to this point was using Brand X.
Yeah, okay, and while the film's dark tone and general disinterest in the comics continuity turned off some...
Never rub another man's rhubarb!
Are you really just going to reduce this entry to Joker bits?
Steve, you need some Smilex.
Oh, God.
Because with Joker Brand, you get a grin. Again and again.
Number 6. SpiderMan II!
So the web-slinger endured decades of Hollywood limbo hell before finally hitting the big screen in 2002 under the guidance of Dark Man Helmer Sam Raimi.
I preferred Briscoe County. Irregardless, although the first Spider-Man may have been more relevant to the modern-day idea of superhero as movie franchise, the second film was actually the crowning entry of the series, avoiding the origin story tedium of the first and the complete cluster mess of the third so-called plot.
More importantly, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock was a much more striking villain than Willem Dafoe's cartoony Green Goblin, and Kirsten Dunst showed her boobs finally.
I think you're thinking of the movie Melancholia, Larson.
Oh, Melons is right, Steve.
Oh, no, bad joke.
Boobs.
Number 5. X2, XMen United. Honestly, I don't remember anything about this film except that it was better than X1.
So I'm sure it had something to do with humans hating on mutants, so kind of like X1, just more, but better.
Yeah, remember when you got to shake Bryan Singer's hand in that elevator one time?
Yeah, I remember when he invited me over to hang out in his jacuzzi.
Whoa, no, what?
And I'm proud to announce, right here, right now,
Oh, no.
that I'm replacing Kevin Spacey in Singer's adaptation of Battlestar Galactica. That's a 10 for the win exclusive.
Oh, God, such a needless adaptation.
Entertainment!
Number 4. The Incredibles!
Starring the voice talents of Coach, Ed McDonough, Brody Bruce, and the aforementioned Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass!
The Incredibles manages to skewer and law the traditional superhero archetype, creating a cinematic experience that speaks to kids and adults, as well as comic fans and non-geek audiences.
You could have just said, it's Pixar, so it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that too.
Number 3. Superman, the movie. This Dick Donner-directed movie gets kudos for being the first serious comic book flick and giving birth to the superhero film genre.
Doing away with the campier aspects found in previous cinematic comic book adaptations, Superman the movie proved that a film based on the funny books could be right, and true, and dramatic.
Of course, this was all a precursor to our favorite Superman flick, Superman II.
Oh, God.
Zod. Number 2. The Dark Knight.
New and improved Joker products.
We may have seen the pinnacle of auteur superhero directing with the second Christopher Nolan Batman flick, which pitted the Caped Crusader against his most contrapuntal villain, the Joker.
Heath Ledger gave a bravado performance in what sadly was his last full film role before his untimely death, lending unpredictability and a palpable madness to the Clown Prince O'Crime.
And of course, who could forget The Dark Knight also gave us Aaron Eckhart's royally fucked up Two-Face and his wonderfully blown off half-face.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Eckhart didn't get an Oscar nom for this as well. He literally blew up half his face.
I am actually pretty positive that it's CGI.
Hey, Eckhart! Think about the future!
Number 1! The Avengers! The Avengers made it really easy to leave Captain America, Thor, the Iron Man movies, and the Ed Norton Hulk flick off this list because this is the best movie featuring any of those characters.
Yep! Marvel's massive and costly Avengers experiment has paid off in spades, and it's all due to their approach of balancing fan service and mainstream appeal.
Nabbing nerd guru Joss Whedon to direct the climactic final entry in this first wave of Avenger movies was a genius move. But no one could have ever predicted that the movie would have turned out as balls-out entertaining as it did, nor that it would have grossed the insane amount of money it has since its release.
We're all geeked out in anticipation of the next wave of Marvel flicks, which, rumor has it, may be taking on a more cosmic approach. But in the meantime, there's enough superhero nerdgasms in the Avengers and its Marvel Studios predecessors to keep us happy for a while.
And if you want a nerdgasm all over the super bastard and the ass man, find them on the Facebooks at facebook.com/Steve and Larson or at the Twitters at twitter.com/Steve and Larson.
So, Super Bastard, what are your superpowers exactly?
Well, I'll tell you. The ability to cope with day-to-day life, knowing that I'm an illegitimate son of a bitch. What about you, ass man?
No, I go around sticking my finger in assholes.
Villainy.
Now that ETC has its own channel, why don't you sub, because 10 for the Win's going to be here every single week.
Yeah, on whatever day this is on, it's going to be on this day.
Do it.
In a war where mankind's very survival hangs in the balance, it's up to each of us to make a difference.